Hello, and welcome back. I am Dr. Jennifer Mata. I'm going to share a video with you today on nurturing children's spirituality, specifically looking at strategies that can be implemented in the classroom in order to facilitate, support, or nurture spirituality in children. So let me tell you a little bit about where this video is coming from, or where I found these strategies. I have been conducting a survey study with two colleagues of mine, Dr. Michael Haslip and Dr. Deborah Schein. We have designed a survey that has many different questions, all related to how teachers might support and nurture spirituality in the classroom. We're targeting in-service teachers, so teachers that are actually working with children, or early childhood educators, because we're looking at not just only the classroom as defined as an educational space, but also caregiving centers, daycares, child care, and all related to working with young children. So we're targeting early childhood educators more so than just teachers. So my colleagues and I designed this survey and have distributed it across the U.S. and have gotten some feedback or some responses back from in-service early childhood educators. The survey has Likert scale questions, closed-ended questions in which respondents can select an answer stemming from 1 to 5, determining or establishing the frequency in which they do each of these items that we're asking them about. They're all related to supporting or nurturing spirituality in the classroom. But there are also some open-ended questions. And from the data that we gathered in those open-ended questions, we highlighted some specific strategies that teachers are implementing currently in the classroom that they know or they believe are helping them support and nurture spirituality in children. And there's some other strategies as well that are coming from my work and my work with teachers prior to this particular survey. But I want to share them with you here, and there are 9 specific ones that we're going to get into in a second. So the audience for this video is going to be primarily early childhood educators or teachers that are working with children in classroom settings or like classroom environments. But it's also going to be interesting for parents that want to facilitate or nurture spirituality for children, can use some of these strategies. And it's also going to be beneficial for teacher educators, because those are the folks that train teachers and train early childhood educators. So they could also benefit from knowing what kinds of strategies are being implemented and what teachers are doing to support spirituality in the classroom or in the classroom educational environment. So let's get into it. There's 9 strategies. Let's go. Okay, so before we get into the strategies, remember that these strategies come from the responses that in-service early childhood educators gave to us in our survey. So the first thing that they said was to draw on your own spirituality. So teachers are to do what feels natural and comfortable to them in their own spiritual search and share that with children. The second strategy that was shared was to create aesthetically pleasing or beautiful environments. So have your classroom be well organized, be pretty, be orderly, so that they are spaces in which children want to participate. The third strategy has to do with the daily schedule. So the classroom typically has a daily schedule in which you have all the routines and activities outlined for the day. You want it to be flexible. You want it to be organic, to feel organic for the children that are in your classroom. So allow them for enough time to go from one activity to the next. The fourth strategy has to do with relationships. So build relationships that are nurturing, that are welcoming, that are positive with both the children, the families, the parents, and the co-workers. Children are going to emulate and repeat what they see. So be a model for them for that kind of relationships. The fifth strategy mentioned in order to nurture children's spirituality in the classroom was to develop a relationship with nature. So take the children outside, let them engage, explore, experiment with nature, observe, and see what they can discover. In creating this relationship with nature, you're going to help them be responsible and care for their environment. The sixth strategy mentioned was around curriculum. And teachers offered that child-centered emergent kinds of curricula were the ones that were more, that lend themselves best to facilitate nourishment and spirituality. So an emergent curriculum is going to answer to children's interests, to children's questions. It's going to respond to things that happen in the classroom and happen in the environment. And here's a list of aspects and a really good resource that you can use when you're trying to facilitate emergent curriculum. The seventh strategy they shared with us was to emphasize moral and character development. And this can be done by both modeling and being an example of an ethical and moral person in your behavior, and I would say explicitly teaching children about virtues and values. And the Children's Book of Virtues is a good resource. The Golden Rule as a picture book is also a really good resource to do this. The eighth strategy shared by the teachers was to promote pro-social behavior, such as altruism, empathy, caring for others, and also promote emotional development, as in self-regulation. So these were aspects of development that the teachers thought contributed to spiritual nourishment in the classroom. Lastly, the ninth strategy is to promote contemplative practices, or to practice contemplative practices in the classroom, such as meditation or breathing exercises, provide quiet time or peace corners that can be set up in the classroom in a quiet spot where children can retreat and gather their thoughts. Yoga is another type of contemplative practice that is really good to practice with children, and you can become actually a certified children's yoga instructor if you desire to do so. All of these contemplative practices are going to promote mindfulness, and there's specific exercises to promote mindfulness. Settle your glitter is one strategy that was shared with me in a conference that I attended recently, and it's this, creating this, and you can do this with the children, creating a bottle that has water and glitter and maybe colors, or and maybe a little bit of glycerin in it as well, so that the glitter moves more easily. But the idea with this settle your glitter strategy is to help the children understand what happens to their mind when they are upset. So when the water is calm and clear and the glitter is settled in the bottom, the child is calm, collected, and mindfulness, in a state of peace and self-control. When you agitate the bottle, of course, the glitter goes all over the place, and you can see there's a turbulence that resembles the chaos that can be happening in the child emotionally. So this is one strategy that you can use. So that wraps up our 9 strategies to facilitate and support children's spirituality in the classroom. I hope you found this video educational and that you are able to implement some of these strategies that are shared here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more videos in the future. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again.